I have become death, destroyer of worlds. This is what Oppenheimer, the father of the nuke, thought after he watched the first detonation of his deadly creation. But could Oppenheimer's invention truly destroy the world? If so, how big would it have to be? There are several ways to cook an egg, and there are several ways to destroy the Earth. What makes nukes so scary is that nukes can cause devastation in more ways than a cookbook has recipes. To truly grasp the sheer devastation they can unleash, let us delve into the cataclysmic events that unfolded in Hiroshima, Japan, on that fateful day in August 1945, when the first atomic bomb was dropped. In this exploration, we will dissect three facets of nuclear destruction: the merciless shockwave, the scorching thermal energy, and the insidious radiation. When the atomic bomb, codenamed Little Boy, detonated above Hiroshima, it unleashed an initial shockwave that moved at the speed of sound, compressing the air and generating a colossal crushing force. The shockwave's destruction was swift and merciless. Buildings were torn apart, reduced to rubble in the blink of an eye. Trees bent and snapped like twigs, while humans unfortunate enough to be in its path were flung like rag dolls. This shockwave had an overpressure of approximately 4.4 pounds per square inch at a distance of 1 mile from the epicenter, equivalent to the weight of 2 adult elephants pushing against your body. As the shockwave subsided, a second wave of destruction followed. The searing blaze of thermal energy, which is a fancy science word for heat. The heat generated reached temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. This scorching heat wave burned everything within its grasp, igniting fires that consumed the city in a blazing tornado. The thermal energy released in a nuclear explosion can reach temperatures exceeding 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 2,800 degrees Celsius at its core. It's an inferno that can melt steel beams in a matter of seconds and reduce concrete to molten slag. The heat wave can extend for miles, traveling at supersonic speed. As if all of this were not enough, there was radiation poisoning to deal with after the whole explosive devastation. An awful sickness that penetrates through your body and can last up to years if not treated right. But our focus will be on the explosive force and the thermal energy of the nuclear bomb, as there are so many variables regarding radiation poisoning, from exposure, distance, wind, etc. The biggest nuke we ever made was the Tsar Bomba, officially known as RDS-220. The Tsar Bomba was a 3-stage thermonuclear bomb, and its sheer size was astonishing. It weighed approximately 27 metric tons and was 26 feet or 8 meters in length. The bomb was so immense that it couldn't be dropped from a conventional bomber. Instead, it was carried aloft by a specially modified Tu-95V aircraft. Okay, so this bomb is huge, but what is it capable of? To find out, the USSR dropped this Doomsday weapon over the remote Arctic island of Novaya Zemlya on October 30, 1961. What followed was absolute devastation. Reports say that the island was immediately flattened like an ice rink by the powerful shockwave that followed. The effective radius of the shockwave was 44 miles across, which is the equivalent to the size of London. Imagine every building, cars, people, and even trees instantly swept away, leaving a perfectly flat surface in just a few seconds. Russia just recently released declassified video footage of this massive explosion, and it was indeed terrifying. The mushroom cloud that formed soared an astonishing height of about 64 kilometers, which is about 40 miles, a height 8 times higher than Mount Everest, puncturing the Earth's stratosphere. But the scariest part was the amount of heat generated. At the core, temperatures reached as high as 100 million degrees Celsius. There was nothing known to man that would not instantly get vaporized at this temperature. Its yield was absolutely staggering, with an estimated force of about 50 megatons of TNT. That's equivalent to 50 million tons of explosive power. To put this into perspective, this single bomb had the potential to unleash 3,333 times the combined power of the bombs that devastated Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. Does this mean it can destroy 3,000 Hiroshima-sized cities? Absolutely not. The effective radius of the Tsar Bomba is not anywhere close to 3,000 times that of the Little Boy nuke. Little Boy destroyed everything within a 1-mile radius of Hiroshima, but the Tsar bomb would only have a maximum effect in a 22-mile radius. This would amount to a surface area of 1,500 square miles, while the Earth has a total surface area of 197 million square miles, meaning we would need a nuke that is 129,000 times more powerful than the Tsar bomb to totally destroy the entire surface of the Earth. This whole calculation seems to pan out, but but I may have been distracting you from the true force of destruction nukes are capable of. Everything I have said so far is correct, but I intentionally left one key detail out. While you were focused on the shock waves and thermal energy, you probably did not know that the explosions are capable of causing earthquakes. If a nuke that is 129,000 times more powerful than the Tsar bomb was built and dropped, it is the earthquakes that you should be worried about, not the surface shock waves. Our hypothetical bomb would pack a punch equal to 6.5 trillion tons of TNT and release energy that is equal to having 430 magnitude 10 earthquakes. Imagine that. The largest earthquake in history was a magnitude 9.5 Valdivia earthquake, which rocked Chile on May 22, 1960. As the ground convulsed, buildings crumbled like sandcastles. The Valdivia earthquake unleashed a terrifying onslaught of destruction, flattening entire communities and leaving a trail of rubble and despair in its wake. Interestingly, a magnitude 10 earthquake would be impossible, according to the United States Geological Survey Agency, USGS. Earthquakes are measured using something called faults. In essence, the longer the fault, the bigger the earthquake it can generate. However, this prompts a crucial question. Can a fault of such staggering dimensions exist on our planet, capable of causing an earthquake of that great magnitude? The resounding answer from the annals of geological research is, fortunately, no. No such fault has been identified in the vast tapestry of Earth's crust, capable of causing a magnitude 10 earthquake. Should such a fault ever come into existence, it would circle a significant portion of our globe. It would be a geological spectacle beyond imagination. It took a fault line of about 1,000 miles for the magnitude 9.5 Valdivia earthquake to happen. We have only answered what it would take to flatten the surface of the Earth. But what would it take to blow up the Earth? This planet is much more resilient than you can imagine. What holds the Earth together is gravity. If you want to destroy the Earth, you must impact it with an amount of energy that is greater than the force binding everything together. Interestingly, an astrophysicist at The Ohio State University, Paul M. Sutter, has done all the calculations for us. This number is about 100 nonillion joules of energy. No, I did not make that number up. That is the real number with 30 zeros. Some scientists even put the number at 1,000 times this magnitude. Whatever the case is, we would need billions of nukes as large as the 27-ton Tsar bomb to successfully send the Earth to oblivion. Nukes can destroy the Earth in more than one way. It all depends on how you see it. While it is impossible to blow the Earth to pieces with a nuke, a few 150 megaton nukes should do a good job of raising the entire surface of the Earth.